there, everyone. My name is Trudi Kayser. I'm with Life Made to Order Financial and a proud Five Rings financial agency here in the Phoenix area. I want to introduce our cohorts here today. We have Susan Henriksen with Life Made to Order Financial, Monica Reyes with Judy Memorial, and Debbie Donahue with Judy Memorial. This is another installment in our webinar series that we're releasing onto our awesome YouTube page. It's kind of a spinoff from our radio show that we used to do. And hopefully you guys will get some good out of this. We partnered with AZGL last time, and this time we're partnering with Dignity Memorial. We really think that what they offer partners with what we have to do and helps protect our clients out there as well. So with that being said, Debbie, I'm going to start with you. Can you please tell us a little bit about you, Dignity Memorial, and what we're going to talk about today?
Well, thank you, Trudy. Yeah, we're super excited to be collaborating with you guys, and there's a very natural fit between being financially fit and preparing for your final arrangements. So thank you so much. Dignity Memorial is the nation's largest provider for funeral and cremation services. We have over 2,000 locations in Canada, United States, and Puerto Rico. So as we look at our financial future and what kind of expenses we may incur later in life, or actually any time in life, because we know that age does not discriminate here. When our days are up, our days are up. And so we work with families before a need, during a need, and after a need. I'm a pre-planning advisor. I chose to work with Dignity because of the excellent service that they provide to their families. Talking about final arrangements is sacred. It's really important. And I don't take it lightly. And I wanted to make sure before I aligned myself with them that they were at the top of their game. And Dignity Memorial is, as the name suggests, they do all things with dignity. They work very closely with the families, and our families return to us year after year. So I'm going to focus a little bit later on the opportunities that you have for pre-planning with Dignity Memorial. And I'd also like to introduce our pre-planning sales manager, Monica Reyes.
Awesome. Hey, Monica.
Thank you, Debbie. I enjoyed having Debbie with my team, and she has come in with a gung-ho attitude. I joined Dignity Memorial about 5 years ago. I was in Spanish media before that, still working in the community. So when I transitioned over to Dignity Memorial, it was important for me as well to be still out there helping my fellow Phoenicians, being that I am a born and raised Phoenician. So as Debbie mentioned, we have over 2,000 providers nationwide. Here in metropolitan Phoenix area, we have 18 providers. So we are pre-planning advisors. We work with families ahead of need, and as she mentioned, during the process of an arrangement, and then afterwards in our arrangement continuation visits. So we don't call clients or customers, we call them families, because you truly were there in an impactful time and you truly become a family with us. One of the great things that we do with Dignity Memorial is that we come to your home. You don't have to come to the funeral home to make your pre-arrangements. We actually, as pre-planning advisors, will come and talk to you in a more comfortable setting and bring you our personal planning guide, as well as information on different options for cremation or burial. So as I mentioned, I've been doing this 5 years. I am bilingual. That is, again, being here in Arizona, an important benefit, because it allows me to help my community as well and speak in their language. So yo estoy en la comunidad, estoy ayudando a gente siempre para agarrar su información de planificar para sus arreglos funeral y para el cementerio. So, yo gusta ayudar con quien puedo, darme la oportunidad para darte más información y a ver qué podemos hacer para ayudarte. As I said, I'm here to help you and get you some information. We do a lot of things here with our providers and our locations here in Phoenix. One of the things that we have coming up is, because it is currently Hispanic Heritage Month, that is why I was talking about some of our bilingual families. Our Day of the Dead, as many of you know it, or Dia de los Muertos. It is a cultural time to celebrate, and a lot of us do that now. It's not so much about mourning the ones we lost, but honoring them and remembering them. So with Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, we have events at our 8 cemeteries here in the Valley, and everybody is welcome. You don't have to have a loved one interred there. I actually invite you to come and see at one of our locations, a Dignity Cemetery, what we do to remember our loved ones and honor them. So hopefully Debbie and I can give you some more information, and I will let Debbie tell you more about your life and your legacy, what we do for pre-planning.
Awesome, thank you. That's exciting coming up. What day is that? What
it's November 2nd. There's actually a couple of days that it leads into, because there are days celebrating the children, grandparents, and then everyone.
Got it.
So it kind of starts around close to Halloween, but it is
a week of celebration.
Yes, it's a couple of days. So.
That's awesome, awesome. All right, over to you, Debbie, and I am going to share the screen so we can take a look at what Debbie has to tell us. And anytime you're ready to start, Debbie, we're ready to hear you.
Well, as Monica mentioned, we do celebrate your life and your legacy. We have a tagline here, celebrating life like no other. And as we look to make our final arrangements for ourselves or for our loved ones, it's important to be remembered in the way that you want to be remembered, whether it's formal or informal. We do very creative services for all of our families and pay very close attention to all of the details. So it says plan to make it right. And when you do pre-planning, there is no need that your families have, because they don't need to guess what you wanted, because they know what you would have wanted. And that's all about, protecting your family. Pre-planning gives you the opportunity to have a peace of mind. Your arrangements are in place. Your loved ones are aware of those arrangements. And it really just gives you an opportunity to not worry about it at all. It protects your loved ones. It protects your spouse. We often make plans in life, right, to prepare for our children's higher education or our own retirement. But doesn't it make sense to prepare for the inevitable? So we work with families very closely, and I consider it an honor to work with them on planning their final arrangements and getting those in place.
That's awesome.
Pre-planning is really about protecting your loved ones. As many of you know, losing a loved one is one of the top most stressful events that can happen in your life. And I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to protect everyone from walking into a funeral home on the worst day of their life, having to make financial and emotional decisions. There is an easier way to have that conversation. And we do that with our families when we meet with them in their homes, beginning the discussion, the dialogue of what they want, how to document that, and how to get that plan in place. Some of you may have experienced losing a loved one and you didn't know what they wanted. And so you wondered, is that really what they wanted? Did I do the right thing? And all of that really can be prevented with pre-planning, as well as protection against the rising costs of final arrangements. So final arrangements and funerals and cemetery and cremation materials can double about every 7 to 10 years. So imagine that if you're 50 and you make your arrangements and you pass when you're 60 or 70 or 80, how much those arrangements would have gone up if you had not pre-planned.
Makes sense.
I don't know about you guys, I like things in really simple steps, and we do pre-planning that way. 4 simple steps. Number 1, we reflect on what's most important to you and your family. I listen intently to my families to ensure that I'm understanding what they want, and then I will find the best choice for them and make recommendations. Fortunately for many of us, we don't have to do this very often, so it's important to go to a trusted advisor to find out what kind of products and services are available. They do change throughout the years, and so it's important to know what your options are. Making sure that you record those items in our pre-planning guide. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's a complimentary, comprehensive book where you can document your wishes for your loved ones. And when that time comes that you pass, your family will know what you wanted because it will all be documented in this book. We always give families the opportunity to secure their pre-arrangements. There's several financial benefits to this. And as we look at how we can protect our funds and how we can prosper and be financially fit, taking care of this in advance makes perfect sense. There is a pre-arranging discount that is available for families when they pre-arrange with us. I represent all the Dignity locations in the Valley, and I offer that discount. So our families don't need to go shop around. I'm going to find the very best opportunity for them that meets their needs. And then we always want families to share this critical information, particularly with their loved ones, with their adult children, with whoever's going to be responsible for making their final arrangements, as well as their friends and family that could benefit from this opportunity as well. It's very important that you do your research on a provider. What we do is critical, and we have the highest standards of service with 100% service satisfaction guaranteed. If that weren't the case, I couldn't have aligned myself with Dignity Memorial. They are committed to their families before, during, and after a loss. We do have nationwide transferability. Because we are the nation's largest provider, we can easily transfer a policy or a plan from one state to another. And with as many people that move in or out of the area, they don't need to worry that their plan, can't go with them because we transfer the plan with them. We offer bereavement travel for families that have loved ones coming into the area for a service. We work with travel agency to ensure that they get the best possible airfare, hotels. Often those are done at the last minute because of this loss in their family, as well as offering grief support for the family. That's critical to what we do. And we have programs that help families after the loss of their loved ones, including our Compassion Helpline. We have a helpline that is manned 24 hours a day by professionals that can talk to families that need to talk about their loss. Imagine you've been married 45 or 50 years and you lose your spouse and you roll over in the middle of the night and that spouse is no longer there. That's a difficult time. And we know that that is one of our busiest times for our call. Compassion Helpline is in the middle of the night. So we continue to take care of our families closely after their loss. And we do that also with grief support and materials that are available at our different locations, as well as a follow-up visit with our families after they've had their services with us. So these are the things that I encourage you to look for in a provider, the benefits that they provide to you in addition to the services that they offer. Our staff and our team are committed professionals. They are very compassionate. We are the largest in the nation, but we each individually make up a great organization, and we care for our families. We truly care about them and honor them. And we are able to do that by meeting with the families before the need, talking about what their wishes are, and then executing those wishes. We also support the communities where we live and work. We raise our families here in the community. I am a military mom. I have 2 children that have served in our military. And I give back to our community, and the fact that Dignity Memorial gives back to our community locally was a deciding factor for me before I chose to represent them. They honor those who serve our country, including first responders, as well as veterans. And I think it's important when people consider who they do business with to know that they give back to your community locally. And we are actively involved in meeting with our families and comforting them as they grieve through their loss. As I mentioned, we do work very closely with the veteran community, and that's near and dear to my heart. I have been involved with the veteran community for about 7 years now, and it started when my son joined the Marines, and I quickly saw this need for the veterans. And Dignity Memorial will provide services and work with the VA for veterans burial benefits. In addition, we have a homeless veteran program. Before I joined Dignity, I heard on the news about a gentleman here in Phoenix that was going to be laid to rest, that had served our country faithfully in the United States Air Force, and he didn't have any family that claimed to claim his remains. Dignity Memorial has the homeless veteran program. They provide that service at no charge, complimentary to that veteran, whether there's family there or not. And I attended that service, and there was probably 1,000 people there that were just complete strangers honoring this veteran because of what Dignity Memorial did to honor his service to our country in a dignified manner. We have a veterans planning guide that is comprehensive, so our veterans are fully aware and advised of their benefits. There is quite a few misunderstandings about what our veterans are and are not entitled to with the VA burial benefits. And I really want to clarify that with our veterans and their spouses. I talked to several families where the veteran tells their spouse it's all taken care of, everything's in place, when in reality there are things that the VA does not cover. So we have, as you can see on the screen, a very comprehensive guide, the Veterans Planning Guide. This is complimentary. I like to meet with veterans and take this to them so that they can be fully aware of what their benefits are and what they need to make arrangements for. And we can do that with our veteran community.
Awesome.
So where do I begin? Some of this may be overwhelming. Many of the families that I work with, they have time. They need to think through this and process. So I don't want anyone to be under the false belief that you need to know exactly what you want. Even if you don't know if you want traditional burial or cremation, we just have the conversation. We begin the dialogue, and we offer choices to families, again, that they may not even be aware of. So as I listen to what they need, I offer solutions for their family to make sure that protection can be in place, give them that peace of mind. We also bring our personal planning guide to them. This is a comprehensive guide that Dignity has invested extensively in with the input from our families, and I want to get it in everyone's hands. This is your opportunity to just begin documenting what your wishes are, and they will change over time. Mine have. And Dignity Memorial will make those changes with you. So please be advised as you seek providers to do your research. We have a 10 things everyone should know about making funeral arrangements. It's a pamphlet that, again, I'd love to get in everyone's hands so that they are informed. They're an informed consumer and can make the best financial decisions, and that offers that protection and that peace of mind for their family. And once you have your pre-arrangements in place, you put it in your folder, you tell your loved ones where it is, and it's just a peace of mind. They don't have to worry about it anymore. They don't have to be concerned that their plans aren't in place or what are the rising costs, because everything's in place. And when you make your pre-planning arrangements, you lock that price in place. So if you plan now and pass away in 30 years, you're not going to pay those cost increase. So that's what I do is I meet with families, just listen to what they need, offer solutions, and I look forward to meeting yours.
Aw, thank you so much, Debbie. So I'll leave this up here on the screen for a little bit to allow you to either take a screenshot or get Debbie's information. Please don't leave your family behind without this in place. It's super important. So one of the things that I want to talk about in this particular realm is our workshop is called Protect and Prosper Today. And so there's some psychology behind prospering in this world. And part of that, Susan and I like to call it the SWAN plan, sleep well at night. And this is a huge part of that, don't you think, Debbie? I think that goes without saying. I mean, I've been through, my mom passed away with no plan in place, and it was, we all knew what she was going to die from, but it was still like, oh my God, what did she want? She never did talk about it. None of us ever talk about it. It's not talked about. It's not like dinner conversation. So being able to sit down with a trusted advisor such as Debbie and Monica is a huge part of this whole overall financial well-being. So I really appreciate you guys coming in tonight and doing this with us, and hopefully pushing you guys out there will get some. I have a question from Monica, and I'm going to make you spotlight video again. Could you tell us what is a really good, so if someone were to go to, mom and pop funeral home down the street, and then if they came to Dignity Memorial, what would be the difference?
Really what the difference is with Dignity is our provider benefits. We offer some things that smaller locations don't, such as Debbie mentioned, national transferability. Being the largest provider, you can move away and take those benefits with you. I haven't seen too many other locations that have a personal planning guide. Really, we've listened to our families, listened to what they needed, and really invested to making this guide to help their loved ones, to help people that have been impacted, had a loss, and weren't prepared. There's several others, our bereavement travel assistance, our family protection, our grandchild protection. I hope nobody ever has to use it, but it's difficult enough to lose a child, but then to have to pay for their service and plan everything together. I have seen families use it and they actually grieved and didn't have to worry about the financial aspect. And that is just an added benefit that we have.
I'll tell you, Susan and I actually sat down with you too and did a little mock appointment, and it really woke me up that day. That planning guide is simply amazing. And it does ask some questions that you would never think about. I mean, seriously, the next week, my husband and I went hiking, and we were hiking down the mountain, and he always teases me because I have a bunch of life insurance on it. And so he always teases me. He's like, why are you trying to push me off the side of the mountain? But, he was walking in front of me, and I just thought to myself, what would he want? We've never had that conversation, and it really did wake us up. So yeah, big, huge appreciation for what you guys do, and thank you for doing what you do. So we're gonna get into the prosper piece of this, and being able to get that mindset in peace. Susan and I work with a lot of people, and at Life Made to Order Financial, we truly have this living a life made to order up here. And we believe that most people have the ability to create this life that they want to do, that they want to have. But the reality is that a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scared to do some things, and maybe this is a part of it, not having this planned out, not having that peace that you have when you do have living benefits in your hand that we're going to talk about here in a second, or have that peace of mind that you know what, I'm not going to leave a mess behind for my family. They're going to know exactly what I want, and I know exactly what I want, and it kind of frees you up to attract a little bit more abundance in your life and really feel good and live life instead of go through life worried about things. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce Miss Susan Henriksen, and she's going to get us started on our presentation for Life Made to Order. Susan, you are up.
Wow. Hello, everyone. My name is Susan Henriksen with Life Made to Order Financial. We are a proud partner of Five Rings Financial, and we have the ability to work across nation. We do help middle Americans to navigate the financial puzzle piece of living a life made to order. We also focus on educating individuals and families to confidently make their own decisions about their finances instead of telling them what to do. So tonight we're going to talk about one of the pieces is our flagship product that we love sharing, and it's called Living Benefits. It is the new type of life insurance that you do not have to die to use. Right now we're going to show you a short video to explain about this fantastic protection piece for your financial portfolio. Thank you so much. Take it away, Trudy.
All right. Oh, crap. See, this is what you get for doing a recorded webinar. We're going to talk about living benefits tonight. We're also going to talk about compound interest and you versus Uncle Sam and educational events. Now we're going to do the video. If I can ever get this right. All right. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's interesting. Okay. Ready? Go.
When Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1876, he designed it to do one thing: make phone calls. Hello? These days, it seems we use our phones for everything but phone calls. Today's phones are our text messengers, calculators, books, planners, navigators, our cameras, music players, internet browsers, stock traders, even our flashlights. Phones evolved to include so many other useful features because we needed them to, yet we still just call them phones. This same evolution by necessity has happened with other products over the years, and life insurance is no exception. When life insurance was invented way back in the 1600s, it was also designed to do one thing: to financially protect your loved ones when your life is over. And like phones, life insurance evolved because we needed it to. With modern advancements in medicine, suffering a critical illness like a heart attack, stroke, or cancer diagnosis no longer necessarily means death. In fact, 90% of people who suffer a heart attack these days survive that event. That's where the new, evolved kind of life insurance policy comes in, one that adds living benefits. Living benefits policies are essentially the smartphones of life insurance. They allow your life insurance policy to not just be a parting gift, but also provide the ability to accelerate the death benefit if you suffer a critical, chronic, or terminal illness. This ability can help save your financial life by unlocking a whole new list of ways to use your policy while you're still living. Hello. And oftentimes, it does all of this at the same price as the old kind of life insurance. Living benefits protect you, your loved ones, and your wallet, not only in case you die, but also in case you don't. Two things always happen when you suffer a critical or chronic illness: your expenses go up and your income goes down. When your expenses get higher than your income, that's when debt begins to pile up. This is the exact trap that so many Americans are falling into every single day. In fact, 60% of all bankruptcies that occur in the U.S. are the direct result of a critical illness and the medical expenses that follow. With living benefits, the policyholder has the option to accelerate a portion of their death benefit to replace their income and help with those added expenses. These benefits are the difference between just surviving the illness and having a life afterwards. And the best part is, they come at no extra cost to the consumer. So what kind of life insurance is protecting your family? Your granddad's traditional death benefit only coverage? Or the new evolved life insurance with built-in living benefits? If you're still using the rotary phone of life insurance, maybe it's time for an upgrade. Contact the person that shared this video with you to find out how you can add living benefits to your coverage.
All right. With that being said, I'll tell you, living benefits protection is a huge piece of this whole protect and prosper thing. It goes right hand in hand with what Debbie and Monica talk about at Judy Memorial as well. It gives you just a peace of mind. And if something happens to you and you don't die, typically where most people go to protect themselves is to pay for their loss is their 401ks. They go to their savings account. They go to mom and dad. They sell their home. They file for bankruptcy. They do anything to pay that off. And so it's a huge piece of protection. It's pennies on the dollar. So definitely find out more about that. So today we want to also talk about compound interest. Einstein is a awesome dude. out there with his big fat hair. He's been dead for a long time, but if you see here, his estate earns about $45 million a year due to compound interest. He said it was the ability of an asset to generate earnings, which are then reinvested in order to generate their own earnings. He also called it the eighth wonder of the world, and he said, those who understand it earn it, and those who don't pay it. And we're going to talk about that today. So we're going to learn about the rule of 72, and coincidentally, Elvis's estate earns between $85 and $90 million a year from compounding. I remember when Elvis died, my mom was so upset. I had no clue who he was. I was that young, but it just mind boggles me to know that he is still earning between $85 and $90 million a year from compound interest. So the rule of 72, if you don't know what the rule of 72 is, I am going to teach you what the rule of 72 is. Let me move this little thing over here. It's real simple. It doesn't have to be you don't have to be an Einstein to figure out what your money's going to do using compound interest. So if you just divide the interest rate that you're earning, so let's say you're earning 1%, and you divide that into 72, the answer to that is going to equal the number of years that it takes for your investment to double. So if you're earning 1% and you divide that into 72, that's 72 years it's going to take for your money to double. How many 72-year periods do we have? We're hoping for one, right? At least one. So we're going to go through a little exercise and talk about the 29-year-old triplets. There were 3 triplets. Their uncle died and left them each $5,000 with stipulations. You cannot add to it and you cannot take away from it until you're 65. You must use something to invest it in and leave it alone, or else you don't get the money. So the first triplet, using the rule of 72, went to the bank and she got 4%. We're giving the banker a little bit of leeway there. And that means that her money will double every 18 years. So when she's 47, she'll have $10,000. And when she's 65, she'll have $20,000. Pretty cool. Her $5,000 automatically turned into $20,000 using the rule of compound interest. The second triplet says, you know what? I went to one of those workshops that those girls, Trudy and Susan, put on in Phoenix. And I learned that I can get 8%. So she invested with Trudy and Susan. And that means that her money will double every 9 years. So at 38, she has $10,000. At 47, she matches her sister at $20,000. She still has 2 more doublings. So at 56, it doubles to $40,000. And at 65, it doubles to $80,000. Is that a big difference or a little difference? It's a huge difference, isn't it? So, if you went to your job tomorrow and they said, Monica, you're doing a great job. We're going to give you a raise. Would you rather have a $20,000 raise, a year raise, or an $80,000 a year raise? Oopsies, I got to unmute you. I can't unmute you. You have to unmute you.
80, please.
80, please.
Yes, thank you. 80.
80, please. I think everyone would want the 80 if given a choice, right? So it makes it seem really much bigger then. So the third sister, she says, you know what? I've seen it in the past, 12%. And I bet we'll see it again. But I'm just curious as to what 12% would look like. That means her money's going to double every 6 years. At age 35, she has $10,000. At age 41, she has $20,000. At age 47, she has $40,000, and at age 53, she has $80,000. She's already matched her sister. She still has 2 more doublings. Can you believe that? Her $5,000 turned into $320,000 using 12% compound interest. Now, notice we didn't go from 4 to 25%. Because I'll tell you, when I first started saving, I thought, well, what the heck? I'm just going to spend this money because I'm not making enough interest to really even make a difference. But the truth is, it doesn't take very much. It just takes time, right? So did you know that compound interest can work against you just like it works for you? What if I could offer you 18%? So if we took $5,000 and started at 29 years old, and went till 65 with 18%, you would have $2.5 million. It's pretty amazing. In debt. So most of us carry it in our wallets. Women, ladies, we carry it in our purses. Men carry it in their wallets. It is a credit card. And if you miss a payment, they're very kind and they up that to 24.99%. I'm sorry, 23.99%. And if you miss another payment, they'll go even higher. They'll give you even more, 32%. So credit card debt can work against you. This whole compound interest thing can work against you. So please be aware of how to use compound interest to work for you, not against you. Remember, though, those who know about it earn it, and those who don't pay it. It's kind of important. The next piece that we're going to talk about that is, I think it's a big subject for a lot of people across America right now, is taxes. So in this world, nothing is certain but death and taxes. Benjamin Franklin said that. It's a big joke, but it's true. Nothing is certain but death and taxes. And guess what? Your tax bill gets passed on to those who you leave behind. So make sure you plan that in there with Debbie as well. Time and taxes will erode even the greatest of fortunes, but proper planning can mitigate the damage that's done, especially if you seek out tax advantage strategies that allow you to keep more of your money until you actually use it so you can continue to grow and compound. Some strategies will even actually allow you to receive money in retirement tax-free, much like a Roth IRA. So let's go through. We're going to talk about the difference between the haves and the have-nots in this world. And I think the main difference between, we talk about this mindset thing, millionaire mindset. And millionaires do one thing differently than middle-income Americans or poor people. And you know what that is? They spend twice as much time finding tax-deferred places to invest their money in and put their money than a middle-income American does. Middle-income American probably goes to the bank. So I'm going to go to a millionaire and offer them a deal. If I give them $1, it's going to double to $2. And in over 20 years, every year I'm going to double that money. So the second year it turns to $4, the third year it turns to $8, the fourth year it turns to $16, and so on and so forth. And after 20 years, in this account is $1,048,576. So that is a lot of money. Would you agree with that? It's a lot of money. $1 million. Like, that's craziness. There's a couple of things wrong with this account. If you notice, no tax was taken out. It's tax deferred. There were no fees taken out. And there is nothing in this planet that doubles your money. A lot of people at our workshops like to say that Vegas does. But I would not suggest you take your retirement money to Vegas. That is a no-no. Now, if you work at a place and they have a 401k and they match you, then that would be doubling your money. So that's pretty much the only place. So Mr. and Mrs. Middle Income American, they go to a bank to save their money and they are taxed. Let's say they save it in a CD. So if they go in, their first year, their $1 doubles to $2, but they have to tax it. So Uncle Sam has his hand out, give me my 28 cents. Does that make sense? So you only have $1.72. Did you see how I did that? Their $1 doubled to $2, so they earned $1. So they had to pay 28 cents. So they only have $1.72, but we're still going to double it and tax it over the 20 years. And if we double that, that'll be $344. It taxes down to $296. That doubles to $592, and that taxes down to $509. And if we did that for 20 years, look at that number down there. It's only $51,346. Do you think it's important to save your money in a tax-deferred option rather than a taxable option? It's huge. This is probably one of the most powerful things that we teach on a daily basis in our workshops. So some people say, well, Trudy, don't I have to pay taxes on that $1 million eventually? And the answer is yes, you do, because you didn't pay taxes as you went along, right? Even, let's just say that you do have to pay taxes on it and you're at a 50% tax rate. you would still have $521,000 in that account. That's still 10 times more than what you would have in that taxable account. So it's super, super important that you save your money in a tax deferred place. So now we're going to talk about the 3 tax buckets. This is something that I find fascinating when I sit down with a lot of our clients. Young people especially, they don't know how 401ks work, and they don't understand how the tax deferral works. And then I have some older clients as well that are in their 70s, and they're majorly not happy because they have to pay RMDs, which is a short acronym for required minimum distributions. If you save money in a tax deferred account, you are eventually going to have to pay the taxes on it. So please plan for that. And part of finding a good advisor that can guide you in this is working with someone who knows about distribution, who can help you with distribution when it comes time. So the first bucket is a taxable bucket. And this is your income, your W-2, you're self-employed. If you're self-employed, you get commission, CDs, real estate, 1099 forms. This is all taxable income. Also stocks and bonds are over there as well. And then the next tax bucket is a tax deferred, and we talked about how that works. So this is your 401k, your 403b, 457, SEPs, IRAs, 529Cs are in here. Those are college saving plans. Those are all in here. So let's say that you earn $100,000 a year and you want to save $10,000 a year in your 401k. You can do that. So that means that they're going to minus $10,000 off of your income, your taxable income, and you're only going to pay $90,000. You're only going to pay taxes on $90,000. So that means that you saved money on taxes that year, which is great. And your money will grow tax-free all of those years, and you'll save money every single year on your taxes because it's pre-taxed contributions. So when it's time to take all of this out, it is taxed as ordinary income on withdrawal. And when you have your $1 million saved in your 401k or whatnot, you don't really have $1 million. You have whatever is the tax bracket. So who knows what the tax bracket's going to be when it's time to retire? Do you think it's going to be more or less? Probably more, because we are in extraordinary debt in this country. And sometimes the only way to get rid of that debt is to tax the people, right? There are all kinds of people that talk about this out there, but the main thing is that to know right now that we are in the lowest taxable environment that we've been in a very long time. Back in the 50s, the highest rate was 90%. Can you imagine that was the top earners, they were taxed 90% of their income. Can you imagine making $1 and giving 90 cents of it to Uncle Sam? It's just crazy, is it not? It's one of the main reasons I left California and moved to Arizona. It's probably one of the main reasons a lot of people are right now. So what is the tax rate going to be? That's the question. That is the question. Nobody knows. And how do you plan for that? So the idea is to get your money in a tax-free bucket and save it in a tax-free bucket. This is how a tax-free bucket works. Let me move us out of the way a little bit. All right. So here's how a tax-free bucket works. There is a couple of them. There's a Roth IRA. So let's say that here's how a Roth IRA works. Let's say you make the same $100,000 a year, and you're going to invest $10,000 a year. That's going to grow tax-free all of that time. You're going to pay taxes on $100,000 a year because this is post-tax contributions. It does grow tax-free, and when it's time to take it out, it's $0 federal tax for qualified distributions. So we have some plans called tax-free retirement and smart baby plans that allow you to do the same thing without any restrictions that a Roth has. A Roth has restrictions. You have to be 59 and a half to take out the money. It has to be earned income. If you make a lot of money, you can't even contribute to a Roth. So in order to get into that tax-free bucket, you have to work with someone who knows what the heck they're doing and knows how to use these tax-free retirement plans in order to help you achieve your goals. So when all of that money comes out, it comes out all tax-free. And you can really get some good planning in place for your retirement at that point. So to become financially secure, there are a few things that you need to do. You need to make a decent living. So, which means you probably need to up your skill level if you haven't already, and you need to keep up with inflation. You need to spend less money than you make and save $5 a day, at least $5 a day, at least $5 a day. And you need to invest the money that you don't spend so it can work as hard for you as you do for it and utilize compound interest to your advantage. You need to insure yourself and the wealth you have built so that a disaster, like an unforeseen illness, does not take it away. Protect your wealth. I could also say protect your health. You need to implement the same strategies used by wealthy people for years. It's called tax avoidance. That's what they do. And you need to integrate the recommendations and services of a trusted team of advisors like the ones sitting in front of you right now. I don't know about you, but when I'm around Debbie Donahue and Monica Reyes, there is a certain peace that I don't feel around a lot of people. So they love what they do, and they are quite passionate about helping others. So you can learn more at our workshop, Money 101. You can learn about the 3 enemies to building wealth, which is inflation, debt, and taxes. And you can learn 3 strategies for building wealth, which is the power of $5 a day, compound interest, and tax avoidance. We do have some upcoming events. If you are ladies, you can go to a Wine, Women, and Wealth. Our next one is October the 9th at 5:45 at the BLD in Chandler. And if you are not in the Phoenix area and you would like to know when the next Wine, Women, and Wealth is, you can go to 5ringseducation.com or 5ringsfinancial.com, and it will tell you all of the events that are across the nation. Wine, Women, and Wealth and Money 101 is offered in 47 different states across the nation. So we have a huge following. We teach probably 1,000 people a month, and we do these workshops 150 times a month to educate people. Nothing is for sale and everything is educational. So here in the Phoenix area, to RSVP, do that with Susan Henriksen, or you can email radio@lntophoenixevents.com. Our upcoming Money 101 class that I will be teaching, no pressure, will be October 28th at BLD. We like BLD. BLD stands for breakfast, lunch, dinner, which is really awesome, and that's from 6:15 to 8 p.m. And if you can't make it to any of these classes, let's just say you're an introvert and you don't like going out. This class is available for viewing anytime. We do have an on-demand link that you can watch right at home on your computer. Just let us know if you would like that invite or that link. So with that being said, I would like to leave you with a funny and let you know to avoid this scenario. This guy says, I retire on Friday. Oh crap, I got my stuff in the way. And I haven't saved a dime. Hopefully you can be my hero. That's what he talks about in that video. So with that being said, I am going to unmute everyone and have Monica, or I can't unmute you, Monica. You must have an iPad or something like that. I find all Apple products don't allow me to have a controller. So if you guys want to say anything in closing, I will go ahead and get this webinar processed and uploaded on our YouTube page, and then you guys can push it out as well. It was really nice having you guys here tonight.
Thank you, ladies. It was very enlightening, and we really enjoyed doing this with you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we look forward to our continued partnership and educating others about their financial decisions.
You bet.
Yeah, just same thing. Thank you. I mean, thank you for having us with you. And I learned some things too. I enjoyed going to your event, and I still need to sit down for my own personal consultation.
Love it. And
we're here for you when you're ready.
We enjoy working with you ladies. We enjoy telling everybody about you, because not everybody knows what Judy Memorial is all about and all of the services that you do provide. So hopefully we can get the word out there. Hope you ladies have a good night, and we will chat with you out there in TV land or YouTube land or internet land very soon.
Yes.